You've done the planning, you've done the research, and maybe you even bought a habit tracker or another planner, but you still can't stick to your routine and you still can't follow through with what you tell yourself. You quit again and you still keep feeling guilty about it when you try to start over. But deep down, there's a little voice inside of you, and I'm going to tell you that's the Holy Spirit telling you not to give up, to keep going, to keep pushing, to keep trying, to start over. Because you already know the time is going to pass by anyway. It's already about to be summer, then the holidays, and then the new year. And even if you're not doing it perfectly, taking a step day by day will get you a lot further than it has before. Welcome to Speak Life for Single Moms. I'm Victoria Garris. After years of struggling to figure out how to balance being a mom, working full-time, and taking care of myself, God showed me that there is a way to create a routine that took me from chaos to calm through time blocking and simple routines. Now, I help single moms take the next right step with God to build a simple, doable weekly routine that gives her time to breathe, take care of her family and home, and still have time for herself. So grab your planner and emotional support water bottle. It's time to go from chaos to calm. Before we dive deeper into this episode, I want you to imagine yourself at the end of summer prepared. Your habits are locked in, you know your priorities, you know your routines, and you finally feel in control of your life. You actually have the confidence to do what you tell yourself you're going to do because you've been practicing it all summer long. Before the craziness of fall hits, before the back to school, before school and after school routines, all of that stuff, you know how it goes. And I want you to imagine yourself with a fresh mindset, one that's built on the foundation that you are God's daughter and you are fully capable of doing the things you tell yourself you're going to do. You don't lie to yourself. You don't beat yourself up. You don't feel guilty if you miss a day. You just pick yourself up and keep moving like it's nobody's business. So, I'm excited to announce I'm hosting the Holy Habits Challenge and it starts May 25th. This challenge is happening inside Disciplined Daughters, which is my new faith-based membership community on Patreon where single moms do life together and hold each other accountable and grow in faith and confidence side by side. And so here's what we're going to be doing every single day for 30 days. You're going to log your steps, your water intake, and a daily gratitude. 3 simple things. That's it. Small, consistent, doable, because that's how real habits are built. And the best part, you won't just have me holding you accountable, you will be seen by other single moms who are on this same journey, women who are becoming healthier, stronger, and more confident and more rooted in their identity as daughters of the King. So if you've been praying for a breakthrough, asking God for something that finally gives you skin in the game, something that helps you prove to yourself that you can become the woman you've been dreaming about, this is it. And if you join now during the early bird window pricing, it's going to be $12, and this is the lowest it will ever be. So don't wait to sign up. The early bird discount code will be in the show notes as well as the link. And so here's another bonus. When you join before May 25th, you will get a full month of prep content I'm dropping. And so that's going to be journaling prompts, mindset questions, and things to get you just hyped and ready to go so that when the challenge officially kicks off, you are just locked and loaded. So don't wait, go sign up with the link in the show notes as well as using the early bird discount code. And I'm praying for everyone who joins, everyone who's thinking about it, and even you. If this is the first episode you've ever heard and you're just ready to get started, again, go to the link in the show notes. I can't wait to see you in there. But alrighty, let's move on to the rest of the episode. And today I want to take you behind the scenes of what went on in my brain as someone who went from a single mom who dreaded the bedtime routine to a single mom who was successfully able to launch a podcast and coaching business. And I didn't do everything perfectly, but I still made progress every single day during that season of my life. And so I'm just going to jump straight into it. You know, this is Tough Love Tuesday. So you are going to stop playing the victim and just become radically responsible. This was the first thing I had to do, and it was to stop believing the lie that I was a victim. Did bad things happen in my life? Yes. Did my child's father abandon us during my pregnancy? Yes. Did I have to figure out childcare, housing, new jobs, insurance, and how I would stay sane through all of it? Also, yes. But I stopped living my life like someone needed to come rescue me, and I started being radically responsible for everything in my control. My finances, my fitness, the way I parent, the way I take care of my home. And I just slowly started to realize that I could change things, that no one needed to save me from what I hated about myself or my situation. And the best part is that I had God, and I still have God. And when you have God, He will show you what needs to change and where you're being disobedient. But you need to start spending time with Him in His Word, in prayer, to get to know His voice, because He will show you and He will give you wisdom when you ask for it. All right, let's move on to the second point, which is to pray about everything and do not worry about anything. And I constantly pray. Any little thing I'm worried about, I pray about it, because I refuse to waste my time and mental energy worrying, staying stuck in my head, being in a bad mood, being reactive. Hello, I know we've all been there, when I could simply just pray about it instead. And you might be thinking, well, Victoria, like it's not that easy. And honestly, it kind of is. You just, again, are overthinking it. And so Philippians chapter 4, verse 6 says, don't worry about anything. Instead, pray about everything. Tell God what you need and thank Him for all He has done. Then you will experience God's peace. It said it right there. But God already knows what the situation needs. He already knows what you need. The more you practice giving it to the Lord and laying your worries at His feet, the less stressed you are going to be. And I'll even give you a peek into my work life. There's a coworker of mine who is very anxious and loves to throw last minute meetings on the calendar. I think it just makes this person feel better. And I just remind myself, I don't need to feed off that anxious energy. I just need to pray for this person, pray over the work that I'm doing, pray over every detail, and God handles the outcome. He handles the heavy lifting. And so if you're someone who gets stressed out by the smallest things, I want you to try this. Take a breath. Pause, talk out loud if you need to. No, it's not weird. And tell God what you're stressed about, because the more you learn to be honest with the Lord, the more He will show you the areas where you need to grow. Alrighty, so moving on to point 3. And this one might get you. I'm just saying. But time is passing whether you work on your goals or not. And so days will go by, weeks will go by, months and years will even go by, whether you put in the intentional day-by-day effort into the life you want to live or you don't. On a personal note, I'm turning 30 in about 2.5 years, and I have envisioned my 30-year-old self as, the healthiest, most vibrant, most full of life version of me. And not that it's like, this mountaintop, like that I'm trying to climb to that. No. And I'm still enjoying, the areas of my life that are going well and resting and doing all those good things. But I'm still putting in the daily effort across those different areas of my life that I want to improve. And I could sit back and say, well, I'm not a single mom anymore. I'm married. Things are going well. I've made it. But I don't see it that way. And like I said, I take time to rest and enjoy the season. But I want this to get ingrained into your head. You have time now. Putting in the effort day by day is worth it right now. There is not going to be a better time. Things are not going to slow down. And here's what I want to add. You actually get better. Things may not get easier, but you get better. You grow stronger. And I know you're tired of starting over and quitting and going through that cycle again, but you grow through that process. And growing hurts sometimes. It's not always fun. And even the Bible says that discipline in the moment doesn't feel good, but in due time reaps a harvest of righteousness. So think about it this way. Maybe you're my age, 27 right now. I'm just using me as an example. And you're turning 30 in 2.5 years. That's 2.5 years to become intentional, to become healthier, to become more grateful, to grow deeper in your relationship with Jesus. And just think about how that affects all the other areas of your life. That would just be a net positive in every single sphere of your life if you think about it that way. And to close this last point, I want you to ask yourself 2 questions. What kind of life do you want to live? And this second question is just as important. I talked about it last week. But what kind of life do you not want to live? Because knowing your anti-vision, which is knowing what you don't want, makes it crystal clear on what you need to do to get to the life you've been dreaming of. And more than anything, I want you to know that it's possible and that you are capable of making changes in your life. You are capable of having a happier, more joyful outlook on this life that is a gift. Because I think back to when my daughter was first born and just how low my confidence was, how deep in survival mode I was, trying to figure out what in the world I was going to do to raise this child. And in that process, I learned that I can figure things out. I can work hard. I can have a growth mindset instead of a fixed one. And my life doesn't have to look like what society says it will according to the statistics and stereotypes that we see. And neither does yours, my friend. So if this episode challenged you or really hit home for you, and if that little voice, inside has been telling you it's time to do something, it's time for a change, I want to invite you to join the Holy Habits Challenge inside the Disciplined Daughters community, my faith-based membership community on Patreon. And that challenge, again, it starts May 25th. So every day for 30 days, you're going to log your steps, your water, and your daily gratitude. Again, these are just 3 simple things that are going to help you, and you will be surrounded by other single moms who are on the same journey. And I just want to remind you, you will get early bird pricing plus a full month of prep content if you sign up today. The link is going to be in the show notes as well as that discount code. And so I am praying for every single one of you who joins. And if you were thinking about joining, I'm also praying for you. And of course, I'm also praying for you if you're listening to this podcast. So go sign up. I can't wait to see you in there. And I can't wait to see what God does during the Holy Habits Challenge. But thanks so much for listening. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to my mom's podcast. If you liked it, can you please leave a review so that more moms like you can find it? Bye!
Hi, friend. Thanks so much for listening to today's podcast. It is such a blessing to be able to serve single moms and to encourage you in your walk with Christ, but also helping you build a life with simple routines that bring you joy, energy, and help you enjoy motherhood. It would be such a blessing for you to share this episode with another single mom who could use the encouragement. And don't forget to subscribe and leave the podcast a review. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye-bye.